Hey everyone, my name's Lachy. I'm 21 years of age and I live in Perth, Western Australia. And for the next week I'll be giving up my home and my comforts to go and sleep on the streets of Perth City. I'll be doing this to raise awareness and funds to shed light on what the people experiencing homelessness in our city face on a daily basis. There's actually not as many drug addicts or crazy people or lunatics or scum that we think there are out there. They're genuine human beings. A lot of people experiencing homelessness are sleeping in people's cars, sleeping in their own cars, sleeping in hostels, sleeping on people's couches. There's only about 13%-ish that actually genuinely sleep rough on the streets. So a lot of homelessness you don't really even see, it's behind closed doors. Throughout this whole week, if I can encourage people to donate whatever they have, whatever time, whatever money, whatever food, whatever clothing, whatever blankets, sleeping bags they can to all these causes. There's plenty of charities out there that help people experiencing homelessness and they're quite dear to my heart. I've gotten in contact with some of them and they're so genuine. They just want to help people. They're full of love. Thank you everybody. Much love. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're all well fed. I hope you're warm. I hope you're loved. I hope you have a bed to sleep in tonight because there's a lot of people who don't. So count your lucky stars. You have all these things that you have. So I've got one pair of clothes I'm going to be wearing the whole week. I've kind of drawn on a shirt here. It says One Earth, One Flag. I've got a long sleeve shirt just to give me an extra layer of warmth. One jumper. I'm currently wearing the tracksuit that I'm going to be wearing tomorrow and for the rest of the week. Got a blanket for extra warmth during the freezing cold, like 3-degree nights, and for a pillow if I need to. A water bottle, one pair of socks, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear, books, a hat, sleeping bag, hand sanitizer, I suppose that's pretty crucial, a flashlight, a pen. Yeah, that's probably 2-3 times as much as a lot of people who live on the streets actually have, so it's kind of hurting a little bit just to look at all this stuff when a lot of people don't even have half that stuff to take with them. I don't really know where I'm going to be sleeping. I've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Day 1 of Homelessness Week Western Australia. I've been gifted a bunch of bread and fruit by my younger brother who works at a shop, which I shouldn't really say the name of. Yeah, let's go and hand it out to people. Not a single person looked at. Where you headed tonight, brother?
No.
Where's home for you?
I don't know.
Of course, that. Feel free.
I get two now.
You can have
I
two.
like it. I can't. I'm running off. I'm going to have one hand
Bye-bye. See you around. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name's Marvin. You have a good day and God bless. Thank you.
Yeah, take some cheese with us, man. Yeah. Oh, man, you for it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a capsicum there too. Yeah, I feel like having a bit of vegetable goodness. Yeah, go for it. See you later. So a Flame Church hands out free food from Monday to Saturday. Doing a pretty incredible thing, handing out free food to anybody who's in need. There's Trambies around the corner, which is giving out free beds to people. Right in front of Trambies, they're a church who provide free bedding and free food for all the people experiencing homelessness throughout the city, 24/7 for next week. It's drawn a massive crowd, and I'm a little bit scared actually. What brought you on the streets in the first place?
So I was hurt.
You were hurt?
Hurt my heart, and then hurt so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, you learn from it, and then you got to move on.
Absolutely.
I was on the streets for 3 years.
3 years.
3 years, yeah.
What kept you on the streets?
No self-esteem, no motivation. Yeah. Well, the opportunity, I got offered a bed, you know, and to get my goals completed. So I lost a lot of documents in my life and needed them. So like my ID, I needed, these guys like, we'll help you get your goals scored and say all your IDs and stuff, and then you can go out in the real world and get yourself into your own house. And
what's your plans from here on out?
I want to go FIFO in the future.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I want to do. So I'm trying to get my license, which I've never been able to go for.
Yeah, okay.
go for my license and then go into work in the mines and live the life.
Can you tell us about some of the things you experienced while you were sleeping on the streets?
I've seen a lot of stuff, fighting and drug use has been very bad. It's always been a fight over drugs, family versus family. Very nasty to see.
And if you could give any kind of advice to someone who is about to sleep in the streets, or who is nearly about to sleep in the streets, or who is...
Stay strong.
Stay strong?
Stay strong. Get undercover and stay strong.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to film inside the shelter due to their strict media policies. People were packed like sardines on the floor. 50 to 100 people each night flocked to those doors for a warm meal and safety. Despite my constant fear of theft or harm, there was a strong sense of community through the shared suffering and respect for each other. People bonded and looked out for everyone. I was offered blankets and pillows and asked how my day was with a warm smile, and some of the guests made room for me on the floor next to them. It is an invaluable resource the city needs plenty more of.
So it is the end of the first day. We've interviewed one guy and he gave a pretty incredible story. He used to live on the streets himself. The void of love amongst a lot of people just hits home fairly strongly. I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know to what extent it was going to happen. And I've only seen a little bit of it, but even that is still kind of soul-crushing. It's going to be a very interesting week. I imagine I'm going to be seeing a lot of that. And signing out for the night, we'll be seeing much more. Adios. The sun is coming up on my second day. I've just spent the night with about 50 people sleeping on the floor in Tranby Centre. Not the most comfortable of nights. I just woke up every hour and checked the clock. Yeah, felt like a lifetime each hour. But the hospitality here is incredible. They have like sandwiches, they have cups of tea, coffee, they put on breakfast and dinner every single night. Everyone's super friendly. There's like this amazing community that people experiencing homelessness create. So I actually feel pretty safe around here, which is pretty lovely. It's pretty tough, that's for sure. Day 2 and I'm already like, oh, what the hell am I doing here? So the sun is setting on the second day of Homelessness Week, and after I finished TAFE I came out to Yagan Square, which is one of the busiest touristy parts in the city of Perth, and I tried to beg to see how much money I can make. This is one of the signs that I made. Just a smile would do, and I got some pretty good reactions. I actually made quite a few people smile, and that was all I was after. I made this one, which accrued me $0, but gave me a fair few lovely comments from people saying, a lot more than that, Zal. So that was pretty lovely. That's all I'm asking. This one too, which got me a total of $0 as well in about an hour. It just kind of showed me how much people just walk past you and just ignore you, really. Yeah, even if you ask them to smile, they don't want to smile. Which is fair enough. I'm not trying to judge anybody. They're probably going through their own too, but see a person in the street, the easiest thing to do, the most satisfying, most fulfilling thing you can do to a person is just smile and say, how you going, brother? How you going, mate? Doesn't matter if you got cash on you. Don't walk past someone and say, I don't have cash on me. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not doing it out of obligation. Do it out of humanity. Do it out of love.
We saw a few amazing groups of people at this park on Tuesday night. There were school kids handing out food, street doctors, laundry vans, free legal aids and a few more. We weren't allowed to film any of the organisations for legal reasons, but we did meet a few friendly faces that would chat with us.
Okay, hi, I'm Mandy, and we belong to a Catholic organisation called Holy Spirit of Freedom Community, and we've been coming out many years on Tuesday and Saturday nights, and our mission is to bring God's love to the people on the streets of Perth and to let them know that they're very loved and everyone's important and everyone's got meaning in their life. So we usually bring down coffee, sleeping bags, tea, Milo, biscuits, but most of all we bring our love from God and from our community to let people know that they're all valuable and they're all loved.
My name's Billy and I'm a street chaplain, and we're a Christian organisation of volunteers. We do a lot of work here in the city in Fremantle, Northbridge, Saturday nights, Friday nights, and basically it's basically like a good Samaritan model. So it's not about evangelizing, it's about having a backpack full of stuff, med kits, thongs, blankets. It's about listening to people, it's about helping people get them home, keep them safe. And this is part of a new sort of stream of work that we're doing where we are working with the homeless. and it's just about listening to people and trying to help them understand where they are.
Why do you personally do this?
Why do I do it? I do it because I have had a call on my heart since I was a little girl. Like, I was used to worry about the homeless, and then when I got older, God actually brought me to this community. I wasn't looking for it, and I believe that every person needs to know that they've got a purpose and a mission. They can regain their dignity and get healing for anything that's happened to them to cause them to be out here. Yeah, and I've met many beautiful people, and I've made many friendships, and I've seen many people's lives restored. And there's a lot of great people out here that love coming to help, and I think people generally don't know how to help. I think all people have got good hearts and want to help, but they just don't know how to display that, just display how to help them. So it's just acknowledging people, even if you're walking along the street, just saying hello, because they tell me that they feel like the great people, like nobody recognises or notices them. And most of the time people are lonely and they just need someone to listen to them and to be a listening ear, and just be someone that values them for who they are.
You got to give back. You know, it's in giving that you receive. Yeah, that's it. So it's life's very hollow in many ways. There's a lot of stuff out there which doesn't really have value, but we think it has value. And it's when you do like this and you start helping people just by being there and listening and stuff. That's where value lies, really. And there's so much fake stuff out there. So yeah,
It's a pretty big day today. Just going to head back to Tranby's for the night. It's much safer there. It's free food. In the last hour, I've had people trying to sell me drugs. I had one guy come up to me, threaten to kill me, and then 10 seconds later threaten to kill himself. And pretty much start breaking out in tears, saying nothing exists. I hate everyone, I hate everything, and then walk off to go straight back into the pub. It's very, very, very emotionally draining, very physically draining. I don't know how people have been doing this for years. It's been 2 days and I'm already questioning it. It's the hardest part. It's knowing that I can just go home. I've got a warm bed back home, I've got a job, I've got a plate of food waiting for me on the table. I've got a family. And large majority of the people that sleep on the streets don't. That's pretty crippling to know that I have all these luxuries. I can just jump back straight on the train, catch a bus right back to my house. It would cost me what, $5 or $6. But people don't have that luxury. We're so lucky we don't even realise it. But signing out for the night. Last night was pretty hectic. Someone tried to break in while we were all watching a movie. Cracked the door, cracked the window on the door. Almost ripped the door off its hinges. You could feel everyone was getting pretty scared. He's a pretty aggressive guy, but apologised and they let him in after about an hour. Yeah, they shut the movie off at about 10:30 because everyone couldn't keep quiet. But the community there is actually pretty funny. Everyone's kind of nice to each other. It's rough as slept on just the floor with a blanket. I don't know how the hell people do this for so long. They're cooking up brekkie, and if you help clean up, they let you stay in longer instead of kicking everybody out at 6 o'clock in the
I
morning.
used to be a very big businessman. I used to sell investment to miners, police officers, all sorts of different beings in government departments and also in private departments. And I had a Mercedes-Benz, I had a S-Series Valiant, I had all the material things that a person could want. I had a beautiful house. I used to get $3,400 a month before I even went to work, just as a retainer.
What?
So I was quite wealthy, and I didn't want for anything. And I realised that it meant nothing. And when I told my first wife that, she freaked out a little bit, and she left me.
Is there anything at all you can say to anybody to help people on the streets?
Yeah.
Anything we can do?
If you see someone that is genuinely hungry and you have money, I'm not talking about people that are shooting up in the corner and using the government. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about someone that has genuine reasons, because Tranby House and Rua and all different places, dream builders, they could all be fed already. Stop giving your money to drug addicts. Give it to someone who's genuine. Government departments, if a person comes in that's come from Bali and he has no food, he can't get on Centrelink for 6 weeks, feed him, help him, understand?
A rescheduled interview with Wayne that we were just talking to before. He's trying to get more in depth in his story and a better shot. So it's not so dark and not so bad on the camera. But it must have really upset him. I made him off the tape and chatting about 5 or 6 minutes, and then he just got really angry at me all of a sudden. But it just shows you how sensitive these people are on the streets. They're not really willing to give their story if they don't trust you in any way. Yeah, I'm back on the streets. I'm going to start begging. See how bad it goes. Told to move on. I'm not allowed to beg here, apparently. It's too many restaurants and I'm too much of a distraction, supposedly. Made about $3. It's not so bad. Yeah, I'm not even allowed to try and make a small living on the streets without being a nuisance.
What's that, mate? Yeah, of course, mate. Come hang out for a little bit. Yeah, that is, mate. Oh, love you, see you now, so we'll see you shortly, you know.
So my incredible friend Kyron has been kind enough to make us some pizza and some pasta and brought us a carton of soft drink and some soup to go and hand out to some people on the streets. So we're going to go hand these out to some people and try and spread some love and see the reaction. Do you have a place to stay tonight?
Yeah.
Your place? Yeah.
I sleep on the street.
Where are you staying?
I was sleeping on the street, but it was raining that much. My brother, my oldest brother, come and found me. Now I'm home at evening.
Yeah, you got trammies too.
Oh yeah, I heard
Yeah,
about that. They
that's
telling me
20%.
today what's happening down there.
Yeah, it's bloody good, hey. It's 24/7. There's free food, free breakfast too, which is wicked. Some blankets, some mattresses.
Rocket there tonight. He's my best friend.
Narrows Bridge do you still? Or?
Either Narrows or up to Kings Park.
Yeah, that's through the safer.
It's coming to the end of my 4th day. As you can tell by my voice, it's gone. I feel like, for lack of a better word, I'm a piece of... I've just finished up at TAFE, and these last 4 days have been absolutely incredible. Coming from one side of the affluent fence to the other side of the affluent fence has just been so eye-opening and truly, truly profound. Some incredibly in-depth conversations with people I would never even have associated with. Yeah, it's a pretty strange way to live. I'm not sure how people do it for so long. I've done it for 4 days and I'm ready to go home. In all honesty, it is hard. My head is about to explode. I'm carrying bags under my eyes bigger than the one I'm carrying on my back. I slept for about 4 hours last night. Thank God with some friends that decided to join me. I'm not sure why. You guys are insane. I don't know why you would decide to join me. That was silly, but thank you. Very much appreciate that. Yeah, since I've been working in the city for about 1.5 years on weekend nights, and I've seen just about every bad situation you can conjure up. And I don't know how people can go through that all the time, day in, day out. I've seen some very decrepit things, but I've also seen some incredibly lovely things too. People experiencing homelessness are, how I see, almost more human than we are. Their depth of emotions is tenfold what you see on people in an affluent situation walking down the street. Their sense of connection, their sense of human connection, their sense of love for each other, their sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, motherhood, fatherhood, whatever you name it, is 10 times as deep as what I've ever seen otherwise. And that was eye-opening and heartbreaking at the same time to see, because we've been walking for so long with these blinkers on, not taking care of people that we don't even know. So, 2 words for you after learning all of this: be kind. If you see someone on the streets that's begging or sleeping rough, don't walk past them and be like, ugh, that's gross. Oh, I don't want to be like that. It's just a homeless man or a homeless woman. Don't ever judge the person, because the amount of stories I've heard where my initial bias towards them has just been completely blown open. I've had some amazingly profound, eye-opening chats with people. Some deeply personal stories were shared with a total stranger, just another kid that looks rugged. And they trusted me that much to tell me what was happening in their life and why they were on the streets, or domestic violence that was happening in their life, or their drug addiction, or whatever the habit, whatever happened to them. Oh, my throat's killing me, my head's killing me, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to stay at the shelter again tonight, and that is the best thing I've ever seen. It is incredible. People are so loving there. It's an amazing thing for the city of Perth to do. It's an amazing thing for humanity to do. They're humans. They're humans just like we are. They're souls. They need help, they need love, they need support, they need food, they need warmth, and shelter and clothing, just like we do. Now we walk past these people on the streets and we just totally ignore them. The amount of people that looked at me and looked away, or looked at me with an apathetic look or a sympathetic look, or just would walk past me, whip out their phone, look down, and then look up again as soon as they'd walk past me. Is like this weird little excuse just to not look at me. Just be kind to people. Say hello. You don't have to give them $100. You don't have to buy them a 5-star meal. If you've got spare food, give them to a person experiencing homelessness. If you've got a few spare dollars, give it to them, but do it out of authenticity. Do it out of love. Don't do it out of obligation. Because the second you do that, that person can feel that, and they know you're just doing it out of obligation. Be warm and smiling and friendly and ask them how their day is going. It actually hurts. It hurt me, and I can go home in a few days. And that's the hardest part about this experiment, is that I can just go home. I do have a family at home. I do have a job I can go back to. I can go and have just a warm plate of food. I can have a warm bed I can just sleep in, and it's just a 10-minute walk to the train station and a half-an-hour train ride home. These people have more than likely lost everything. And you can never ever judge that person's story until you sit down, until you open up and have a loving conversation with them. Be loving, not even just to a person experiencing homelessness, just to everyone in general. If you see someone that's struggling in any way, help them. Even your family members, tell them you love them. Do something nice. Everyone wants to save the world. I heard the best quote from Colin from the Human Excellence Project. Everyone wants to save the world, but no one wants to do their dishes for their mum. Oh, that was amazing. The generosity of people too, I've noticed, is amazing. I have not gone hungry once, but a lot of people do. People are very, very, very willing to give to people that they don't even know. And that is incredibly heartwarming, because there's only a few people out of the hundreds that walk past you that will stop and have a chat with you, that will stop and give you something. Not that I'm asking for anything, but people need it. Just the same as you need it. But people give it to you without you even without you even knowing. Like, your mum has done so much for you, your dad's done so much for you, just taking it all for granted. But these little things, someone who has nothing means this much. Not this much, it means everything. Just a smile made me feel so incredible on the inside. You have absolutely no idea how much effect you can have on someone just by being a human to them. So to everybody that's listening, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you everyone for the comments. I love you all. Much love to everybody. I hope you are safe and warm and well fed tonight, because you deserve to be, and so does everyone. Now go and spread some love. Be a human. Tell someone you love them. Be kind.
Sunrise on day 5, and I'm feeling even worse than yesterday. My throat is so blocked up, nose is so blocked up, head doesn't even feel like it's on this planet right now. 3 more days to go. No idea what I'm going to do today. I don't have to go to school, so I can do anything. Might go and see how much money I can make begging. I might go and try and interview some people who aren't homeless, who aren't experiencing homelessness. I might try and interview some more people experiencing homelessness. I've been cleaning at Trambies every morning, and the staff keeps saying, "You may sort of work here. You should just have a key to the place if you want," which is actually really funny. So I started off thinking I was just another kid experiencing homelessness, and it turned out to be a good friend to me now. So much love to the people at Trambies. I'll probably be back here helping you guys out, because you guys deserve it, and I owe you something. Thank you very much. Looking forward to the day. Looking forward to feeling better in a few days.
What? You, my friend, have the worst karma, bro.
What is your opinion on the state of homelessness in Perth City?
I think my opinion is, there are some people who are genuinely homeless, but I would get the impression, I hope I'm not too harsh, that most of the people who are homeless are drunkards. I could be wrong. And I hope I am. But a lot of them are drunks.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just drunks.
There's a very good correlation with
drug addicts. But I'm sure there would be some people who are temporarily homeless.
Well, the homeless really choose themselves to be to be on the streets, really, because I know a lot of them. Because they reckon it's better being out here than being shacked up in some place which is better, because they don't have to answer to anybody. No, I reckon the system's there for them, but it's up to them to take it and grasp it.
Do you have any ideas of what we can do to help people experiencing homelessness in the city?
How can they help?
How can they help more?
Well, they do help. I mean, there's a lot of good people, and that's all good.
There are a lot of good people.
And God is good. So those things that are good, but then a lot of people do the good, but then they lift themselves up, and there's self-righteousness, and that's part of that. But when you're with Jesus, you don't give yourself any glory; you give the glory to God. So the difference is that they lift themselves up and they do the good things, and God blesses it. But they're away from God.
Well, for a start, go and help them out. Well, set up a feeding program. Find out where they are, see if you can give them a pillow, a blanket and things of this. Because I've done that in the past, giving them that too.
How can we help people in the streets? People in the streets have the help they need. We get from strangers. People learn how to beg. People learn how to get what they need. It's more an individual struggle. The people you see on the streets are struggling inside themselves. As far as what you can do to help, you're already helping. All of the services, all of the things that are there for us are offered for us on the streets here.
Get on this level, crouch down, don't look up, crouch down. Show them you're on this level, show them that you are a human being like him, and ask them hey, what's the matter with you? What can I do to help you? Can I lift you a ride? Can I spare you some change? Can I buy you something? It's simple things, it's simple compassionate things like this that motivates people.
I was in a feeding program for 2 years, helping people who want to be fed. Once a week they feed people on a Sunday night. They feed up to about 200 or 300 people a week.
The problem is an internal problem. Every person you see struggling, it's their internal problem. And that's their business. The people on the streets, they are suffering inside themselves. As far as help, what can you do? You already do enough. The streets of Perth are amazing, man. They give us so much. So many resource centres. If you beg, you will receive the money quickly. It's not a lot, but you get $50 a day, and $50 on the streets is more than enough. And then for the rest of the time, you go through the reason you're on the street. Wherever you're suffering, whatever reason has got you, you deal with that. But as far as the help and the things we receive from the community, it's wonderful and blessed. This community gives in abundance, and I'm thankful. It was a struggle at the start. It sucks being on the streets and not being able to engage with the community in a more positive manner. You know what I mean? Like, go to school, get a girlfriend, be a member of a sports team, have a nice job, have people that work for you that it sucks not to have it at the start, but at the same time, it's like I'm gaining from this path. I think I've done that path before. I know it well. I can talk to people easily. For some reason, drawn to this.
See you there. So the sun is setting on the 5th day of my Homeless Week experiment, and it's been pretty incredible. We're walking through Murray Street to the mall there, and there's a huge protest of climate action which brought a lot of colourful characters and a lot of different ideologies, a lot of different opinions. Yeah, it was really fun chatting with everybody. Learned a lot about different viewpoints of life. Yeah, it's really, really, really awesome to see that people are advocating for so much change, and you can also see a lot of people trying to stop change from happening, which is really funny. I'm not too sure why. All these different mixed opinions. Everyone's right, but also everyone's wrong at the same time. And it's kind of funny to watch and just stand back and watch it all happen. As you can hear my voice, it sounds like I've just gargled some razor blades. So that's not very good. It's pretty awesome tonight. It's Friday, so it's going to be pretty crazy. Not sure what's going to happen. I'm looking forward to it. We saw the usual Friday night shenanigans. Drunk kids, fights, police arrests, but we didn't see too many homeless, surprisingly. On our way back to the shelter, however, out of the city lights and in the shadows is where we saw most of the faces of those trying to find some real peace and quiet and safety. So today is day 6 Last night was Friday night. Pretty crazy. There's a lot of shit going on. I was going to sleep in a doorway that I found that was quite comfortable, quite dark. So it's gotten worse. But I decided, I'm just going to go to the homeless shelter. It's a lot safer, it's a lot warmer. Yeah, I feel like trash this morning. 2 more days. See what happens today.
Guys, what is your opinion on the state of homelessness in Perth City?
I feel like it's pretty common in the city, more so than the suburbs, and yeah, I find it sad.
I feel like it's gotten bigger, like, throughout the years, because I came to Australia like 5 years ago, and it wasn't like as common as it is right now. And I feel like the government is just not doing enough for them. It's so sad, like just going to the city and all you see is that, and that's the image that you kind of like get in your head, you know, like for example, like people that come to visit from other countries and stuff, they'll come to city and that's kind of like the picture they're gonna have, like the city of Perth. They're not gonna get to like see the nice stuff, and that's just really sad. And I just feel like the government should like get more involved and like help more.
Do you have any ideas on how we can individually help people experiencing homelessness on the streets?
I think maybe like the introduction of more like programs and that to help people kind of like turn their life around, because obviously some people will face like substance abuse and that, and I think there should be introduction of more like programs to help support them rather than, you know what I mean.
Well, I probably left home when I was about 10 years old. After that I went crazy, so I tried suicide and they put me in a green bin for 6 years as a juvenile. Then when I got out for a year, I sold with 3 cops that year. They gave me 10 years inside. Mental forensics grade hands. And then when the Kingston football team went to Bali, I was one of the Bali 9. Yeah, I did 10 years in Denver, next to Michelle Corby. I went to boogie board in the mall. And yeah, I did 10 there, and then 2.5 when I got back, so that's 28.5 years in jail all up. So someone owes me a life back. I'm 45 now. Yeah, I'm no spring chicken anymore. I'm just, it's not their fault.
Whereabouts have you been sleeping?
I sleep 2K that way near a bridge.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the side of a bridge, and as long as it doesn't rain too hard, I stay dry. If it rains pretty hard, I get a bit wet. That's okay, I don't mind.
How are they making it hard for you? What are they doing?
Stopping us, moving us on. We can't sit here, we're not allowed to sit around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not even allowed to sit here?
No. We've got to move on.
Oh, okay.
If we don't move on, we get fined $1,000.
$1,000 fine. That's incredible.
They get treated like shit. They abuse us, threaten us. Yeah. You'll probably see them walking around for days, too.
Is there anything you can tell people on how to help people sleeping in the streets?
Yeah.
What can you do to help?
Socks and jocks, mainly. Socks, jocks, little things like just money for a coffee is the main thing in the morning. Everyone needs a coffee to start them up. If someone sees someone standing around a coffee shop or something, standing there, they know they're homeless, they just say, can I buy you a coffee? And usually they'll say, yeah, I need one, thanks a lot, and then they'll start a conversation with friends or whatever.
Is there anything that average citizens can do?
Just get the hands off our backs.
Just pitch it to council?
Yep, that's what we want. Because there's no law. If there was a law, the police would be moving us.
Yeah.
And the police said there's no law. So,
how long have you been on the streets for?
Over a year.
Over a year? How did you find yourself here?
Wife.
Your wife? What action have you been taking to get yourself off the streets?
Well, I've gone in the hands of, the street chaplains.
Yeah.
I've got a street chaplain trying to help us get off the street.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's a hell of a nice guy.
That is, yeah. Well, you're a good fella. So
He's been with me to Homes Quest to sort everything out. It's not far off.
What is he going to do for you?
Help him to get off the street into a unit.
Into a unit, yeah, okay, yeah. And how hard is that to do?
It's hard because Homes West have got nothing.
Yeah.
Well, they have. You still got to wait for years to get one.
Yeah.
You can wait up to 4 or 5 years.
All right.
Yeah. To get that. That's how big their list is, or they reckon.
And is there a guarantee that after 5 years you'll get in?
I don't know.
Don't even know.
Don't know.
seen a lot of people just walk past people sleeping in the streets with no consideration.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuck-up people.
How does that make you feel? What do you prefer?
Oh, mate, don't worry me. You know? If they give, they give. If they don't give, bad luck.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah. Right? I don't ask for it, they just come and give.
Yeah.
Right?
So our friend Kyron luckily organised an interview with the Noongar Outreach Program in East Perth, so we jumped on a free cat bus to go and visit them and ask them a few questions.
Look, if we come across someone who's in a dire situation and needs help, we don't turn our back on them just because they're not Indigenous. We'll lead them in the right pathway, but we not 99% we deal with Aboriginals. It's right across the board with age.
Yeah.
You've got families out in the street which you don't see very often because they're hiding their kids, or the kids are couch surfing. You've got adults out there. You've got teenagers out there on the street.
Yeah.
We try to deal with each situation as it comes along in an appropriate way, but it's hard because some of the services there are non-existent. A lot of the homeless people on the street there, they get their backs up because they're rejected by the public. They're rejected as they're just nothing. It only takes a little bit to put a bit of respect back into them. And
most of the people on the streets, they've never done anything wrong. You know, just had a bad time in their life and everything's just spiraled down from there.
Yeah.
You know, they just do everything they can, I guess, to be on the streets just to survive. So, organisations like this and, they'll be able to, help them out to get them off the streets, get them into housing, by the, at least hopefully, they see, oh, well, we've got a house now, we're stable, maybe it might be time to get a job and, at least then I have to show my family that, who are still on the streets that I can do it, basis on the organisations that will help.
And one of our services that we do with the homeless is a lot of them sit there on their own, they've got no one there, we're there to talk to. And just talking to them, they open up wide and let us know their problems and we can try to arrange to get them into the right spots.
You guys provide a pretty incredible service to the City of Perth. Is there any other services that the City of Perth really lacks that we are in desperate need of to help the situation?
24-hour drop-in centre for the homeless, where they can go and have a feed, a shower, and a bit of a rest.
Yep.
So you've got a few centres around here, but they do the best part they can, but it would be all right if there was a 24/7, where they know they can go and have a hot cuppa or a yarn to someone, or a rest, or watch a bit of TV and have a shower, and be warm when they want to be warm.
And more access to alcohol and drug services and mental health.
Yeah.
It's not so much the access to the alcohol and drug services, it's we'd like to see outreach services like us on the street, working in amongst them.
Open at all hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need more of that, that's for sure.
Most of the services are self-present. We don't. We present ourselves to them.
You guys are at the forefront of it.
Yeah.
And what is usually the main reason people are on the streets?
Well, there's a lot of reasons.
A lot of eviction
A
from
lot of
Homes
people
West.
in Homes West.
And three strikes and they're out.
Yeah.
There's no communication between Homes West and the people that's in the houses. There's always one side of it and then they get kicked out.
Yeah.
They don't ask for reasons and why. They just get kicked out. These are even sick people that get kicked out at Homes West and on the street. Was piled up with families.
They don't work with the people to keep them in the homes. It's just like a number. You come in, get the house. Oh well, you screwed up. You get 7 crosses and then 3 crosses and then you're going. So it's there's no working with them as to why are you what's happening to get get these.
Yeah, you take a long-term homeless person off the street and put him into public housing. It's like putting him in jail. They need services there to back them up, support them as they're going along, and help them. People who've never ever been on the street look down at a person who's been homeless. They always will and always have.
And with the Homes West, if there's a lot of young fellas losing their properties because they're going to jail for more than 6 months. And when they go to jail, they automatically lose their house after 6 months. So Homes West have got to try and change their policies regarding that.
As Bernie's trying to say about them going to jail, losing in their housing. But when they come out of jail, they're put onto the street. They shouldn't be put on the street. There's a service there, the outcare service, but they only help you, but when they get out, they do want help for a place, so whether they want it or not, you can always offer it to them,
Hi guys, this is my last night of Homeless Week sleep out. I feel absolutely shattered. Very ready to go home, that's for sure. We got some amazing interviews today, especially with Noongar Outreach and a service that goes and takes care of a lot of Aboriginal youth and homeless people throughout the city on Fridays and Saturday nights, and actually every day of the week. I had to go sleep at Trambies once again. I was going to sleep in a door front, but it feels so shit. I'm just going to go back to Trambies. At least it's somewhat warm. They get blankets and pillows. But yeah, it's been incredibly eye-opening this whole week, that's for sure. It shows you how much we take for granted, how much comforts we have. We've seen a lot in the last week. A lot that people really shouldn't ever have to experience or see. It's disgusting, the conditions people live in. And there's a lot of mixed views and mixed opinions on the matter. No one really has much of an answer as to what to do. It's always the government needs to do something, or this company needs to fix this problem, or and no one says like, what can we actually do? The most genuine answer I've heard for that so far was just be loving with an open heart. And that was from Kerry from Noongar Outreach. Something as simple as that as just saying hi or giving a few spare dollars or buying the food if you can. Yeah. It's divided across the board really. A lot of people think that homelessness is perpetuated by themselves, which it could be. But that's not really an umbrella statement to say about people sleeping in the streets if they want to be there. That's ignorant. A lot of people are there, not by their choice. It's probably the majority of them. Yeah. I'm going to go home tomorrow night. I'm going to sleep in my warm bed. I'm going to have a warm meal. I'm going to hug my mum. I'm going to say I love you to my friends. And I'm going to help people out as much as I possibly can from now on, because it is living in the streets. And I've been doing it in the most luxurious way that I can by sleeping in a shelter. A lot of people don't have a shelter. The shelter's only open for this week. My heart goes out to everybody that sleeps on the streets and has it rough and has addiction. Signing out for tonight. See you tomorrow morning. Today is the final day I get to go home. Thank God. Today at Tranby House they cooked everyone bacon egg sandwiches and sent everyone on their merry way at about 7 o'clock. They just closed their doors now. They don't have enough funding to run 24/7 outside of this week. It was just for this 1 week that they did. Everyone flocks to the Bridge House, we found out, over on Wright Street, which has 12 hours, open doors, free food, beds, showers, blankets and stuff. So I'm wondering if everyone flocks there after this, or if everyone just goes back to sleeping on the streets again. I don't know. But you can probably tell my face looks like a bucket of smashed crabs right now. Looking forward to going home, that's for sure. Yeah, we're going to meet up some charities today, some of the big Perth homeless charities. Have a conversation with them and see how that goes. But I thank everybody from Tranby House for looking after me. They've done an incredible job looking after everyone that comes through that door. Most of them are just volunteer run, but they also run through a company that provides care called United Care West, pretty sure it's called. But yeah, day 7. This week has been interesting. Probably won't do it again anytime soon. I don't know how people do it for so long.
So we started One Voice, I think it was 7 years ago, from an experience where I went and spent 6 months on the streets.
Voluntarily?
Voluntarily and purposely, just to see if people needed showers. I had an experience where the young girl voiced that she needed a shower and was getting abused in public toilet blocks. So I went out there to see if it was true. quickly identified the people who needed a place to shower. So today we've got a shower truck in every state, and then we just help with people and work with other organisations to do stuff like this. To us it's all about giving a hand up, so we just try and do that. How's it impacted me?
Yeah, and the situation there.
Yeah, I think it's impacted the homeless space a lot, because having a shower helps restore dignity in your life. I always say when we have a bad day at work, you go home and have a hot shower. It's like the hot water washes it away. So yeah, I think it's very important for people out in the streets. It impacts me because you get to hear all these stories of where people have come from, what they've experienced, and society I think says that it's all drugs and alcohol, but it's not. It's the opposite to that. And there's a lot of people that are just in despair and had a bad turn in life, and you end up out here. It's mixed everywhere. I think every state's different. So here in Perth, you've got a different culture to Melbourne, which is different to Sydney. But it's definitely growing. Because I'm based in Melbourne, I see Melbourne a lot more. And to me, Sydney was the homeless capital. And now it's starting to shift, I think. So in Melbourne, there's so many homeless people out in the streets now. And I think the same thing's happening here in Perth, that a lot of people are noticing there's more people. And whether that's homeless people coming out from the woods, so to speak, into the public's eye, I don't know.
And how can we help more people that are sleeping on the streets? How can we, as average citizens, how can we help more?
Again, I think society says go get a job, and then you get a house, and that's how it snowballs. But I think people have got so much pain out there that it all starts with this. It all starts with relationship. So we do the showers, and I think that's secondary to what we do, because it's the relationship building and that takes time. So it's not just go get a job and now you're okay, and soon you'll have a house and stuff like that. There's way more to it than that. So I think it starts with relationship to encourage a homeless person to eventually do something, and then you need the support to do that. So we started with the showers, but we've actually got a 30-acre property in Victoria. Soon we'll be doing a bit of a housing community. But you've got to be prepared for that too.
So this is Perth Homeless Support Group, and every Sunday we're here in Wellington Square feeding approximately to 180 to 200 people. So we do some great work, we get them fed. There's also shower facilities, there's chiropractor, there's sometimes a hairdresser that comes along, there's clothing, there's toiletries, and obviously most importantly food and drinks as well. So they get everything in that one-stop shop for the week, for the Sunday, and they go to other agencies throughout the week, but we're definitely a port of call on a Sunday.
Why do you personally do
I know, I saw them working, they were at the James Street car park, and I used to walk past them setting up, and I always said to myself, one day I've got to do that, one day I've got to do that, and I just made that one day the day I went, and haven't not missed a Sunday basically for about a year and a half, 2 years. And it's a massive part of my life, and when things go wrong in my life during the week, I think about what these people are going through on a daily basis, and my first world problems are quite insignificant compared to what the homeless go through on a daily basis.
Very well spoken.
I think everyone has that power to help another person, and if they do the little things in their lives and see that part of their heart that is that charitable part, it's really important. I think if people say it's too big or the issue's too big, I can't do anything, they can, and every little bit helps. Every little item of clothing that someone doesn't need, or any food that they don't need or they don't want, can go to someone in need. So I think if everyone sort of has that we're all in this together mentality, there can be a massive difference to this ongoing issue, and the issue's getting bigger.
It's the fastest growing demographic in Australia.
Absolutely. It's not just one demographic, as you can see in the lines and who's being helped. it's a lot of different people in this world that's homeless or impoverished. Yeah.
So I'm Sam. I've been volunteering since January down here. I found out about the group through our workplace. So I used to just donate items and then thought at the beginning of the year I can hopefully make more of a difference. So I've come down and I love coming down here. I'm really fortunate. I have a home and a job and food every night. So there's people that don't. So to me it's pretty basic that you should just be able to come out and help those that need a hand. So, and I walk away each week even more thankful for what I have and knowing that hopefully I can spread a little bit more of the word of what this amazing group does to support those that need it most.
As far as homelessness goes, we've been very fortunate.
Yeah. And how have Perth Homeless Support Group helped you?
They are incredible. They're brilliant. They're such a good organisation. We rocked up here one Sunday morning 2 or 3 weeks ago and I was just in hysterics because the night before we'd been relieved of our trolley and literally everything we owned, bar what we were wearing at that time, was just gone, vanished. You know what I mean? The entire trolley, someone's just taken it and walked off. And so I've rocked up here just hysterical and Jed spotted me and she's come straight over and she's whipped around, you know, and spoken to all her crew. And before I knew it, like we were leaving here with everything we needed. We left with more than enough to get us by until we were able to, you know, get buy the things we needed and stuff.
Is there anything that average citizens, average people can do to help people sleep in the streets? Like, how much more can we help? What can we do?
Do you know, it's not, I don't think it's about cash handouts or cigarettes, but perhaps maybe like, I know obviously a lot of people would feel uncomfortable handing over money to homeless people because there's the obvious link, you know, drug use and what have you, which is completely understandable and totally valid as well. But so say in lieu of money, maybe just, I don't know, if you happen to pass somebody and it's obvious to you that they're in a place in life, maybe just if you find the nearest Chinese takeaway and just get a special fried rice for $7 or something like that, and take that back, or you know, just little nice things that you might treat yourself with. That aren't necessarily luxuries, they're really quite basic, but for somebody who doesn't have the luxury of being able to store things in a fridge or utilising a kitchen, to have a hot meal bought and dropped off to you, that's happened to me quite frequently, and that is one of the most enormous gestures that I've been extended since we've been living like this.
I think the most important thing is that if you've got a couple of extra dollars, every little bit helps. So whether it's a can of tuna or if you're fortunate enough to go away on holidays, you know, raid those hotel rooms, all of those supplies certainly help out for everyone who needs a little bit of, just the basics, toothpaste, shower gel, you know, all those little things make a difference. So if everyone donated one thing and explained to the next person why they were doing it and what it meant, then that's how we make change. So I think that's the most important thing.
But also another thing I think is help us preserve our dignity by not staring. For example, so we're all sat here now, this gentleman here, say he wasn't who he is and he was a 9 to 5 or in, you know, clearly corporate wear. If he was to have walked through the proximity he just did and that was the case as opposed to him being one of the homeless, it would have been really quite upsetting for me because we do our best to try and retreat from public view a lot of the time, and I suppose the average person could help by just showing decency. So when you see someone who's clearly, you know, just help them out, you know what I mean, help them preserve their dignity by not going out of your way to, oh my God, look, it's a hobo, but just be cool, you know, be considerate.
Just want to let you guys know that, you know, I'm not getting any younger, but I'm losing a lot of my family members on the streets, and we got to send a message to the government that homelessness is starting to be a disease for our Aboriginal people and our young Aboriginal youth of today. It's all right for us, mob like us, men and women, we could survive the elements of the city. But our children of today are the next generation, mind you, are the next generation to become homeless. There's governments out there are willing to close people who live in homes, West houses for so many years with their families and their little ones. So this will be the next new year disease. You'll have younger ones from the ages of this age up. Well, as I told these fellas, in 90 days, my niece has got to get out of her home's West house and to live on the streets of Perth. In the Joondalup area, there's a lot of development going down there, but you've also got to understand, as an Aboriginal person in this country, we don't live in big luxury houses. The houses that we get are second-hand. Second-hand. People get more privilege when they come from a different other country to get more better houses than the people who have lived in this country all their lives. I know there's a lot of people got respect for other people, but at the end of the day, the Australian Indigenous people has been homeless since the colonisation began. Part of the smoking ceremonies for us is just that when we lose a loved one, these things that we call evil travels to other people and put that evil into you. So what we're going to do is cleanse you with the smoke, make sure you leave here with a better, what they call an aura, so you don't take these spirits with you that lives in this part. Yeah, come past and get some of this smoke, and you fellas have a very nice day. And what you people are doing here, to me and all my family, we love you and respect you for what you do, and just keep up the good thing you do.
My week is over and I am back home. Here is my bed. Here's all of my luxuries, all of my comforts. I am incredibly grateful to be home. It was one hell of a week. It was an emotional roller coaster. I feel sick. Yeah.